Hello, welcome to another video with Suerte Dance School. Today I have two guests, Andy and Hector. You've seen Hector on one of the body isolation classes already. We did a Spanish chat. We spoke a bit about words that can be used during the class in Spanish. So that was very interesting. You know, I like keep it fresh on body isolation because sometimes people say like, oh, we do the same exercises every single week, but at least we talk about something different.
Yeah.
So that helps. Okay, we haven't done the sitting video for quite a while, and we are starting the series in which we'll talk about how to run a dance school. So this is a series for my competitors. Guys, you're welcome. You're welcome. You can watch it, you can learn something, you can criticize me as well. And today we are going to concentrate on how to become a teacher, where teachers come from, why some people become teachers, some others don't. And them two are very good people to discuss this topic because Andy obviously started teaching classes at La Suerte, but he's also a qualified teacher at school. Hector, surprisingly, is also learning how to become a school teacher.
Yes.
Language teacher. And he's a funny person because on literally the first appearance at La Suerte, he was like, oh, if I dance a lot, can I become a teacher? And that's...
I was very ambitious when I said that. I was a bit bold.
It's good because I would say that one of the elements, the most important element probably, is just to want to be a teacher if that's the goal. Okay, anyway, we'll get straight to the point. I prepared a couple of topics for us to discuss, and I would like guys to join the conversation obviously as well. And the first thing we'll discuss is, why do we call La Suerte a dance school and not a dance studio? Basically, I never wanted it to be a place where people would come, do the class and go home.
Oh, so for me, what's the difference between studio and school?
Yeah,
so when you mean school, why do you want to be different from studio?
It has to be more than just doing a class and leaving, yeah? And another thing is, like studio, I always associate with like place for hire.
Yeah,
So, like,
I've got a bit of input on this. For me, a studio as a customer is where you go in, you dance, and you just leave.
in Manchester, there are
Oh,
places like that, and
okay.
people are hiring studio
Yeah.
for hours, and there is no like community life, yeah. Like, so if you think why, okay, I know that kids don't like going to school in general, but if there was any reason to go to school, what would be this reason? The community aspect, hanging out with friends, basically.
Also to learn a skill and to get better.
Yeah,
So
I
studio
don't
is
think.
like a one-off. You go there, you do
you
your
go there.
activity, your thing, and then you leave.
Yeah,
It's
a
not
lot
really-
more learning takes place in the school as well. So in the studio, you might not have that musicality lesson where you sit down, get out all the percussions,
Yeah.
and do a bit.
Basically,
of demo.
we are not limited by time and other restrictions.
Resources.
Resources basically.
Oh,
exactly.
so for you, when you say school, dance school, you mean you want people to learn how to dance
Yeah,
properly?
we want people how to
So it's
learn
like
how
skill
to
to
dance,
develop.
but we want them to
appreciate
also.
the culture as well.
Mhm.
You've got salsa, Cuban culture.
Yes.
A lot of people don't realize there's other types of salsa as well. They'll come and do Cuban for 3 months and have no idea that they've just done Cuban salsa.
No, but another aspect of it is like, even if we talk about these instruments and musicality, as you mentioned, like in here we can do whatever we want. So let's say we can keep all these instruments. Again, if it was just a studio that we hire, we don't have any space to keep it, so then we don't run it. Yeah, it's all these limitations are coming across, and I always wanted to do it in a way that we will be able to do whatever we want in any way we want. Yeah. Not being limited by any external factors, and that was one of the points. And obviously, it's a lot more tricky. It's a lot easier to just hire the studio for an hour and do a class and go home, take your money, see you. But yeah, that was never a goal.
So is that why you teach so many type of different dances and lessons in your
That's
school?
quite tricky. Actually,
I have
that's
rumba, reggaeton, bachata.
that's actually a topic for I would say like full episode almost.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that another time.
I'll just mention. I'll just answer what you're asking about. But in general, from this point of view, we do limit our services. We do limit our offer. So if somebody comes to me and say like, oh, do Zouk classes, or do maybe LA salsa, or do tango, and I would say
Wow, tango.
rather not. So I have experience from Poland, how it was there. if people dancing Cuban salsa and people dancing Los Angeles salsa met at the one place, they would be always arguing.
doesn't
They would be
it doesn't go
fighting.
down well.
They would
It does not go
fight.
down
They
well,
would
yeah.
fight. They would argue.
Yeah.
Oh, our music is better. Our moves are better, and I don't want that.
Oh, okay.
So like, salsa and bachata are less competitive towards each other. However,
Even then, there's
yeah, there are some people who say, oh, I'm not dancing salsa, or I'm not.
Yeah, that's surprising. Because I thought I learn all the dances,
Mm.
and some people say only bachata or only salsa. Don't want to learn too much. Might be confusing.
But that's very personal thing. I would say it's worth to try everything basically,
Okay.
even zouk, even tango.
Kizomba.
Like
Kizomba
I
kind of
did dance. Of course, kizomba. I did dance salsa New York style in Poland for quite a while. I gave it a fair go. I would say around 5-6 months.
Oh yeah, you told us about this.
Yeah,
before.
because I
You
didn't.
like
I didn't.
it.
Yes, I didn't. But still, I wanted to try it. I wanted to know what this is about. I wanted to
Understand it, yeah.
feel a bit more. Yeah, I had already quite a lot of understanding of Cuban salsa, and I could compare it obviously as well. But again, I don't want to go this direction.
So say in Poland, how did you start teaching in Poland? You said you became a teacher
Yeah, but
in
that.
Poland, but it was not serious, was it?
No, of course not. No, there was basically in most of places, and similar for us, students are becoming teachers. Yeah, this is the most common way, and I like this way because if somebody attended our classes, somebody went through our program, they develop similar way of thinking and similar methodology of teaching as we do, and that's one of the important elements of running a dance school. So for example, if I can't do a class and Andy will replace me in the class, then hopefully he will do a class that is very close to what I would do.
Yeah,
It's a good pathway. It's a good
Yeah.
pathway because, like you said, you've been there. I've gone through the curriculum. If you've been dancing here for 2 years, you're kind of like a senior student, I would even say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
a lot of places, senior students do run the other classes. that
Oh,
are-
I see.
But also-
when did you find out Andy could be suitable for being a
Okay,
teacher?
so
Because that's quite difficult to find the right person.
So first of all, I would say the most important factor is that the person has to want it. This is the
Also, Andy was very
that's-
motivated.
yeah, that has
Yeah.
to be the most important factor. Yeah, it happened in the past that I found some people amongst our students that were very good dancers, and I said, oh, he would be very good teacher.
Yeah.
But there was no spark. There was no spark. And
What do you mean by spark?
spark?
Energy.
Oh, spark.
Energy.
Oh, right. Like that
Yeah.
passion,
Spark.
that,
Yeah.
that flame.
Yeah.
That fire that you have in your belly.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it. And Andy had that fire in his belly.
It's still there.
Is it?
Until somebody throws a bucket of water.
But,
Yeah.
but
So-
another aspect of it is when you are a student and you become a teacher, this is another way to develop yourself. Yeah, like even you
I
said
would
that this
100%
week,
agree
no?
with that statement. Yes.
Yeah. You said like,
Oh, yeah.
now when I teach the class, I can see some elements that I never
You
paid
never thought
attention
about. Yeah.
before.
You don't just do the class; you have to prepare for the classes. So,
Yeah.
I was
So you
spending
think-
a bit of time before
And you have
classes.
to
Oh,
know
practicing.
how
Yeah.
to break it down for people who have no idea what you are talking about technically.
So obviously you saw Andy as capable to become a teacher.
Yeah, so
But
very,
you've worked with,
so-
you've
so-
worked
so
with other teachers who were not good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both things happen. Yeah. So obviously, yes, we did work with people who were not good, and some of them were teachers from outside. That's common thing. That
Oh, so already somebody who learned how to dance
somewhere else. Yeah, they
Oh.
come and they say, oh, I'm good. I'll be a teacher. And you know, sometimes the
I
first
can show
impression,
you.
sometimes the first impression is very good.
They're good dancers,
Yeah.
though, aren't they?
Oh, so their dancing skills are
varies.
good. Yeah. Well, the teaching skills are different then.
So-
One thing is
it
dancing, and the
varies,
other
it
thing
varies,
is teaching how to dance.
Correct. And then I
Oh.
would add the third aspect of it is kind of belonging to the same system, the same culture, the same idea, sharing the same idea as we
Same
have.
values.
Oh,
Sharing the
same
same values,
values.
same
Mm.
beliefs.
So this is again important when we create a school. Yeah. So it cannot be that's somebody who is very good dancer. Let's say can deliver the class as well, but
They're not share the same values.
yeah,
of
it's not a
school.
part of what we
The
do.
community.
Mm. Basically,
Mixing with everyone,
very,
socializing.
very important aspect for me is like the people feel a part, to be a part of it. Yeah, like they feel they want to be part of La Suerte. They want to grow it with us. They want to.
Oh, so it's like a big family.
Yeah,
Not
they want
just,
to-
I'll come there,
just
dance for a bit, and go home.
work together. Yeah.
Mm.
I still think how some people might not agree with me, but I do believe that dancing is very I would call it a team sport.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
in a way, because of other people you get better, and if you
Yes.
have a feeling that these people, instead of pushing you up, just kind of ignore everything around,
Yeah.
and obviously deliver very good class, yeah, but then after it's okay, then it's not enough. That's not enough. That's not enough.
I see. So when did you start thinking about becoming a teacher, like a real or a proper teacher?
So I'll do another
Because you need a
episode
lot of
about.
confidence. You need to understand dancing really well.
I'll do another episode about the history of La
Yeah.
Suerte.
Okay.
And how it started. So in my case, it started a bit by coincidence. So again, like somebody in Poland said, like, oh, maybe you want to do a class. You've been dancing for so long. So I said, yeah, okay, I'll do something. But that was like a small factor. And again, like I told you, that was very, very not serious at that point. Then when I moved here, I was going to a place that was called Cuba Cafe almost every day after work. And how it started really is this woman who's supposed to teach classes, she stopped showing up.
Oh wow.
She always had some problem. She always had an excuse to not come for a class. And then I have students at some point were like, oh, maybe you will just teach us instead of her.
Oh, so students in
her
that
students,
place saw you as a good dancer.
Yeah, because I was going there, I knew how to dance. I had small experience already with teaching. Obviously not in English, what was extra difficulty for me.
Definitely, yeah.
But still, like, it was more casual, yeah. And then, you know, we've built this, I think it was Thursday, we built this class quite decently. And then the owner was like, oh, maybe you want to try something, to do something else on Friday, like another class, or we might do some social. We started building it from the beginning, and then it grew. But again, this is a very different thing, because, again, that was just something extra that I would do after work. And then one day, I was working in IT then.
Yeah.
And then one day, I just phoned one of my friends. We're Skyping, and I'm saying, man, I hate my job. And he said, oh, I hate my job as well. So I said, let's open dance school. I said, yeah, okay, let's do it. And
this
we
was
did
10 years ago, right? 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Almost
Wow.
10 years ago,
Yeah,
right?
nine. 2012.
Oh, nearly a decade, yeah.
2012, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Uh,
How long had you been dancing at that point where you felt confident enough to say, I'll quit my job that I hate and I'll run my own dance
we wanted
school?
to run the dance school for other reason. There basically was not much going on in Manchester, yeah, and I felt like there is a niche in a way.
There was a small community at that time,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yes,
Very small
I would
one,
say
remember.
still it's relatively small. Some
Yeah.
people might argue with me, but if you go to any average sized European city, you'll see how vibrant, busy salsa is, and in Manchester it's definitely not that.
But maybe in that sense, it gave you an opportunity to
Of
start
course,
your own
of
dance
course,
school.
of course.
Because maybe back in Poland, it would
100%
not.
I agree with you. Yeah,
it would be very
it would be
difficult.
extremely difficult
Yeah.
to enter the market there. Yeah,
There's
No.
established schools
yeah,
there already.
there are
Yeah.
massive
Very
schools.
well
There are
established
so
schools.
many teachers. The market is quite saturated. Where in here, it's still open for more, for a lot more.
How many
That's
other
good
schools
news.
are there in Manchester?
I don't
That
think that
deliver
there's.
salsa or
I mean,
bachata or kizomba? Like actual schools?
no, none. There's none.
Zero.
Yeah, zero.
Oh wow,
That's
zero.
Must only. And then you have single teachers teaching in some pubs and clubs, and that's it. That's it. Like literally, some of them go a bit braver and they hire studios.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But that's it. That's it. Nobody wants to risk. That's the main thing. So again, when we discuss how to run the dance school, one of the elements will be again to discuss the risk factor, because this is why one of the reasons why people don't want to do it, because there is big risk. If it doesn't work, you lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
So nobody.
So that's the
nobody
risk you
wants-
took 9 years ago.
Yes.
And now
Yes.
look at this. Now it's great.
Yeah, it's not less risky, especially with the pandemic situation
We-
around. Yeah.
It must have been really difficult with the
We
pandemic.
don't know if any other people have tried setting up schools
Oh,
and failed, right?
We know about some.
Yeah, so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not easy to enter even if there is a demand for it.
We know about some that tried. Yeah. There were actually a few people. Like there was this one guy. He came from abroad. I will not mention names, but he came. So I spoke to him, and says like, "Oh, I don't want to teach as part of La Suerte." He's not.
Oh, he didn't want
No,
to.
he says, "I want my own brand."
Oh.
So I said, "Okay, I will not agree for that. Good luck to you." How long he survived? 3-4 months.
So that's a good point, because even though you're a good dancer, you need to somehow earn the respect of your community.
To market all of it, to build a system.
Yeah.
So like building system around it is
but people need to like you as a person as well, because you spend a lot of time together. Yeah. So it's not just being a good dancer. You have to be a good character.
You have to be a big people person. When I first time I came to La Suerte, I went to his class.
Yeah.
I signed up straight away after that. He knows this. I've told him this.
Yeah. So you felt great in his class. I thought
he was different to all the other teachers I'd been to, and I was like, right, this guy knows.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. Yeah, so then again, how did you feel with Michal when the first lesson?
He was funny. He was a funny guy. Yeah,
he's always telling good stories, isn't he?
He's a good storyteller, which he sometimes thinks he's not, but he's a good storyteller.
So he's a good storyteller. He's not just a good dancer. Good storyteller.
I'll tell you. I'll refer to that. Back in times, I started writing like a small guide for teacher.
Really?
Yeah,
like a book or a guideline?
Yeah. I've not seen this book yet.
Might come out soon. Maybe next year.
Nobody's seen it, but I basically encouraged in it teachers to tell stories even if they have to make them up. So like if you are from Mexico, tell that you learned from your grandparents. Yeah, they've been dancing. You know, like
I think if you got enough life experiences,
yeah, of course,
you don't need to make anything up. I'm getting on the older age.
Of course, but I'm just saying. So I'm saying like when you develop as a teacher, of course, what you are saying is true. If you have your own experience, is the easiest. But to engage people in the class, that's very important as well.
So this is none of our business, but do you want to tell us how old you are?
I'm 35.
35. So right, you need at least.
I'm a little bit younger than him, but we'll keep it. I don't want to.
35 years. A lot of stories to tell.
Minus 3 years.
Because I've noticed when you tell a story, it comes very natural to you. You just say whatever.
Yeah, because there are stories from life.
You can't say what.
Yeah, there are stories from life. Yeah. But again, coming back to this becoming teacher and being a teacher. So when we say that a dance school is kind of a system. So it's a system that brings new people into dancing. It's a system that delivers curriculum, if you want to call it this way. So like a program of classes. But concentrating for a moment about teachers.
Of the school.
So structurizing the teachers' flow, if you want to call it this way, it's also quite important, because what happens is that people are traveling, people are changing jobs, people are getting married, people are having children, and there are many different reasons, sometimes good, sometimes bad, why people will give up on teaching as well. And then somebody has to take their place. Somebody has to take their place. And again, like I said, the easiest way is to get somebody from inside already.
In-house,
yeah. Another thing that I should say, I'm partially guilty of this. No, I am, like in his case, that I should prioritize always people who are with us for long. That's a very important aspect of it as well. And sometimes it happens that somebody from outside comes and you are like, wow, this is so good. Oh, I'm so excited. Somebody new, something fresh. And you forget about the people who are here and who actually, because everybody who becomes a teacher kind of gets a chance. And now it's important, I think more important, to give a chance to people who are with you all the time rather than to give a chance to people who are
so you want to
super unrelated, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I was saying like, oh, if you learn to dance somewhere else, never come here, we'll never give you a chance. That's not true.
No, but it's obviously more about loyalty, you think?
Everyone gets a chance, I think, that comes and shows.
But did you show interest, Andy? Did you show interest in teaching, or was it?
I was still learning. Other things were happening. The lockdown.
Lockdown was kind of trigger. Because it happened that there was this time last summer?
Almost 18 months ago, right?
Yeah, around last summer, like a year ago-ish.
Yeah.
When they released restrictions a bit and we could reopen classes.
Okay.
And we were doing just solo classes at that point, so with no partners. But we sometimes wanted to do 2 groups at the same time. And like so let's say we do beginners class, but people already dance for a bit, and then some new beginners come, and then he would be like, oh, I'll do it, yeah? So...
Also, he showed interest.
And
teaching a bit.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I used to leave on a high all the time.
Yeah.
So for you, when did you become so confident that you thought, okay, I can do that?
I don't think that confidence is an easier problem at all.
Would you have been always confident?
I'm already a teacher. I've been teaching for a while.
Yeah.
Not in dance, but in other areas. So
that
wasn't the issue. I just jumped in, I think.
Yeah, I would say I don't think that you can define one moment when a person gets confidence. It's a process again. Some people start teaching and they start doing the first class and they get paralyzed.
Yeah.
Even
It's
if
very
they
common, I think,
if they practiced before, even if they had some outside experience as well.
Yeah.
So I will not mention any names, but there was one guy who was a school teacher, language teacher, and when he did his first salsa class as a teacher, he got burned. Yeah, like,
wow.
but there was a female dancer with him as well, and she kind of relaxed him and she made it a bit fun, and he chilled and he continued. But I could see that I was like super,
it was overwhelming.
super unexpected, unexpected. So it might happen.
Did he get better in the end?
Yes,
this teacher,
yes, definitely.
So we can
So
overcome those difficulties.
Definitely. And the confidence grows. Your status in community grows.
Your respect.
Hopefully the respect grows. I don't know yet.
I think I respect you a lot.
The beginnings are very hard from teacher from inside.
I was training with these people.
Yes, exactly. It's a lot easier to enter teaching teachers community as somebody from outside, because people don't know you and they don't judge you.
So if people have been dancing with you and then you get a lot better, you start teaching those people who started dancing with you.
For example,
they don't respect you so much.
Correct.
Is that what
That's
you're trying
correct.
to say? Yeah?
That's correct.
Remember in people's mind that a good dancer.
Yeah. Everybody thinks about themselves.
It's like I was dancing with him.
Yeah,
He's not that good.
Exactly. And this happens.
I see.
This happens literally to
It's not
all
happened to me
teachers.
yet. I don't know.
It happens to all. It happens to all teachers. To all new teachers who were formerly students.
Yeah.
Some other students come and say, why is this little boy teaching us now? Huh? What's going on? And it happened to many people in the past. And I always tell to them, look, you should take it as a guidance. If you think you are good, if you think you deserve to be a teacher, work towards it, because they did. Yeah. They did. It's not like it just happened with click of the fingers. Yeah, they worked a lot. They pushed a lot. They wanted to develop themselves. They put a lot of effort, a lot of time. It's fair.
And that's what you're doing now, isn't it?
So,
watching a lot of videos.
So then
practicing here.
But even like, I mean, mainly before somebody becomes a teacher. Yeah. They put a lot of effort in developing themselves. They put massive amount of time. And those people who complain, they don't. Normally they don't. Yeah, they come once a week, twice a week, and they say, "Oh, I've been dancing for 8 years now." I'm just like, "Okay, 8 years.
How come he's a teacher?
8 years, once a week, and let's say."
And the 1 year, 2 years, like five days a week.
How long have you been dancing? 4 years.
This is my fourth year.
Yeah, but 7 days a week.
For the first 2 years, I had a long gap and I wasn't consistent. So my advice to you would be keep it consistent, because you're just starting out, literally. Yeah. So keep it consistent, and if you do want to be a teacher in dance,
I would love it.
Keep it consistent.
I would love it.
Yeah. I think that accepting the fact that you are progressing over time, and that you are getting better over time, and this every single session, every hour that you spend on the dance floor pushes you a bit forward, and obviously analyzing it from teacher perspective as well. And then when we discuss this confidence and status. I noticed it can go both directions. Sometimes people take I will call it positive advantage out of the situation, and let's say it's quite easy for a male teacher to find a girl, for example. I'm just giving you an example like that. But at the same time, it can develop a bit negative, and they lose connection with reality a bit. They forget that I was there on the bottom.
I was a beginner.
I was there,
once, and now I'm not.
Now yes. Oh, they are crap dancers. Oh, they don't know how to. No, that happens sometimes. I'm not saying it's to him in general.
So one thing I've noticed about you is I think you love beginners, and you understand the problems of being a beginner.
Well, yeah.
You struggle with some steps that you've been doing for 15 years, and you know, okay, that's not difficult for me, but I know why it's difficult for you.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Yeah. We've been doing it for long enough now to understand. And from the same point of view, I try to always tell this to new teachers. Yeah, don't think that this is class for you. A good example: if you prepare for a class, you prepare the move, and then you have to practice for an hour to polish this move. What is the chance that your students will come to the class and learn the same move in an hour? Nearly none.
No.
So
that would be more difficult.
Yes.
A lot more difficult.
Yes. And people do that. People sometimes believe that the class that they are running is for them. That they
mean like other teachers?
Yes.
Oh, so they don't see the point of the beginner side.
Yeah, so if you are teaching people, your goal always should be that they get better. That they can complete what you plan. Then you did a good job. Then you are a good teacher. Otherwise, okay, you might be a good dancer. You'll show off a bit. And again, I understand the situation on the dancing market right now. And I know that there are people like Daniel and Desiree, for example, when they do the workshop. But the workshop is, again, different story.
Different game.
It's different if we do classes on daily basis and different if we do class one-off. But even that, if they do the move, that it looks excellent when they perform.
Nobody gets it.
Nobody gets it. Nobody has a chance to get it.
So that's a failure as a teacher. That person.
People still kind of love it
because they oversell.
I mean, the first definition of a good teacher is are your students making progress?
Yeah, that's how it should be. But what they are selling is actually something different. They are selling imagination about dance. It's what he told you before at the beginning. That people in their own eyes see themselves as fantastic dancers. Yes. Always.
I realise I'm not the best dancer when I watch myself on a video.
That helps a lot.
So when you're dancing, you feel great, and then you see yourself and you think, ooh.
I would say I didn't record myself for at least a year. I watched a video, I'm like, I do not dance like that. I really do not dance like that. My arm was like this. It was embarrassing.
All you see is your mistakes.
Yeah, so that's when I took a long break. Then I came back into it slowly and a bit more serious this time.
Oh, I see.
Watch yourself on camera.
Recording these videos for YouTube, it really helps. It really helps. You see yourself, from the back.
Yeah.
When normally you don't. You just look at the mirror and you're thinking,
It looks good from front, yeah. But you got different angles.
Camera
can get you from any angles and.
Yeah.
So if we summarize it, if you want to be a teacher, like from your perspective, guys, what features should candidate for a teacher have?
Oh, go on, Andy.
You need to be committed in your craft. So if you're going to teach bachata, make sure you know everything about bachata. There are teachers out there, if you ask them something about bachata, they could not answer that for you.
Yeah.
So
it's not for everyone to learn about the culture, but come on, it's have the decency to learn about the culture.
I would refer to that. So basically, teacher has to have passion. So what we are passing to people is the passion. If people can't feel the passion coming from the teacher,
enjoy it.
Why would you? Why would you?
No, so passion.
Yeah,
you really
passion.
need to love your subject. In this case, bachata or
passion.
salsa.
It's about passion.
Know your craft. Be passionate.
Yeah.
Practice. Always practice. Never stop practicing.
Yeah. Would you say every day?
I'll comment
Practice
on that.
every day?
Yeah,
Every day,
but I'll
every
comment
day.
on that as well. Sometimes it happens that becoming a teacher gives you extra motivation to get better. Like you don't know what guys what is happening right now outside of our recording room, but there are Andrea and Olga practicing for Sunday class. Yeah, so they are preparing Rumba class and they are very regularly practicing just to get better and just to deliver the best possible class. On the other hand, it sometimes happens equally regularly that people who become teachers, they believe that they are so good that they don't need to practice anymore.
Yeah, because they know the move and they think that there's no preparation needed. In schools, we have to plan.
Yeah,
lesson
planning.
We have to write down what we're going to do. We have to write down what question the student might ask. We have to write down misconceptions about certain things. We have to preempt all this before we even walk through that classroom to teach.
You need to be completely ready for it. You cannot just walk in and do whatever.
So practicing, when you practice, you could answer all these questions about misconceptions.
What other features do you think should be there?
So obviously you need to understand your students' point of view.
Yeah.
And if you understand their difficulties, you know how to teach them better. So do you think you understand the most difficulties, for example, the most common difficulties?
I've been a student for 4 years. I'm still a student, so yeah. And it took me a little while to get there, so I think I understand that a little bit more, because some people who are teaching, they picked it up very quick. Within 3 months, they were advanced dancers, and it happens, right? It does happen, and they're teachers, so it's different for them. They think, oh, if I got it In fact, one of my friends is like this. He
I-
picked
I-
everything up and he
I've
will
seen-
not break anything down for you because he picked you up straight away.
I've seen even
so
like
that could
comments
be a
like that
downside.
today on Facebook.
Yeah.
Somebody said like, oh, we are doing some bachata beginners intermediate class, and somebody tagged another person, and this person responded like, I'm not coming. I'm advanced already.
So that's a that's a bad
It's a
attitude.
negative.
Yeah,
Because
some
that
of the
same person will dance in the
beginners
same social as everyone
Yeah,
else.
so beginners, improvers, intermediate classes. I'm not coming. I'm advanced.
So they see that as a waste of time because they're advanced in their own eyes.
Yes, and
Yeah.
another aspect is some very good teachers, some people who became very good teachers, like I'll mention names. I said I will not mention names, but in positive context, I might. Robert, who is teaching Rueda classes here, he's done beginners class 6 times, beginners course, doing it from the beginning over and over and over. And every time when he was coming for classes, he said, you know what?
You learn something.
I learned something new.
Yeah.
I did it.
So-
2.5 times.
Yeah.
I learned
So
something each
yeah,
time.
every
Really?
time. Yeah, probably if you joined it now, you would still learn something new.
Because
Mm,
you can't, as a teacher, you can't mention every single point.
every time. I
Every
agree.
time.
I agree. That's the thing. Yeah. So I am aware of that as well. That when I run a beginners course, probably if you join 2 different beginners courses running at the same time, I will lead the same class in different way.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I will point out some maybe other things. Some of them are very situational. So for example, somebody will make specific mistake, and I will try to
You take it as it comes, what
yeah.
the class is, how the
Deal
class
with
is responding. with
Also,
the moves.
yeah, because sometimes the class struggles with a certain move, and other times they fly with it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You
So
realise it, yeah.
so yeah, exactly. Some points might be not taken at all.
The other thing that's just popped up in my head is students not asking questions. They have the question in their head, they don't say anything.
Oh.
And
So when we talk about these features of potential teachers, definitely you would say like people skills, yeah. So like ability to communicate with people.
So
Yeah.
maybe your
Sometimes
students don't ask questions, but you know they have doubts.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Is that what you want to say?
sometimes
Yeah.
it's so hard, you know, though. But because
they don't want to
again,
ask the question.
you-
but
you're-
Too scared to ask the
it's-
question.
I don't know if it's that, because you look around the classroom. This is when I was a student, and I'm looking around and I'm thinking, right,
he
they're not
doesn't
really,
get it. He doesn't get
nobody's
it.
really getting it. Why isn't anybody asking that question? So I asked the
Oh.
question. And then from the girls' side, I think, okay, right, the girls or the followers aren't getting it. Why are none of the girls asking that question? So I'll take the blame, like, okay, I think I'm leading it wrong, but is it like this? And I'm asking the question for the girls. But they don't want to ask the question.
So
And
from
then 2
teachers,
weeks ago when I was teaching, everyone was asking me a question, like one. I'm like, all right, calm
Oh,
down.
wow. It's, the
Right,
opposite.
now they want to ask me questions.
it's a
like,
bit different on advanced
Oh.
classes, you know.
Yeah.
It's a bit different on advanced classes. So like when you do more difficult class, then people are more familiar with you, with dancing, with culture,
So
and
yeah.
with
Okay.
each other as well. So they are a bit more chatty. But with beginners, it's pretty hard. Like so,
Quiet,
it's
aren't they?
rare to have people like you in the class who will ask many questions. Again, from my learning experience, so many years ago in Poland, it was different. People were asking questions. Then you have, in each group, you have like 5 people like just talking all the time, like being
really?
funny, being
5 people?
interactive.
And that was just me then.
And
No,
yeah, exactly.
you get some. people.
Yeah, but small amounts.
It's nice to
of
have
it,
those people.
Well, are you saying
I
that
love
as a
them. I love
negative?
them. It's
No, this is a
very-
I like this kind of.
Yeah,
people.
I like it as well.
They,
This is
highlight, you know,
this is the reason why I invited you guys here now, because now we have a good chat, good conversation.
more
We can-
engaging. More
yeah.
engaging.
Yeah.
we
It is,
we
it
already
is.
talked about many more things that I listed here. So this episode went very different direction than I thought it would go, but it's okay because this is how it works. And again, it explains how the class works. What's the dynamics of the class normally? You go there with a plan, but because you interact with real body, like really with people who are moving, changing, talking, you never know which way it's going to go, and you have to adapt. And I would say this is the last important feature that I would say teacher has to have. He has to be flexible. He has to be able to
Yes, I
adapt
was
to the
about to say
situation.
that. So you need to gauge their level, the level of the class. And you may have better students and worse students.
You respond.
So-
You respond
There-
to your
there were- there
students'
were sometimes-
abilities at that
There
time.
were sometimes
Oh.
teachers in here. I'm not saying now about interaction with people, but let's say phone wire would be not connecting, and they would just stand there and look at it and say, "What do I do now? Do I have to do anything about it, or I just leave it?" And so like people who are not able to deal with the current problem situation, yeah, they have to be able to do that.
Oh, so being a teacher for you is being able to solve problems
As
that
well.
arise in every 10 minutes,
That's
every
what
minute.
you're
Yes.
doing. You're putting solutions for the problem.
Find
Oh,
solutions.
well, that's a good way.
One other
to
thing
see it.
is when the teacher puts on songs for themselves, their favorite playlist,
Same
rather than putting us right. So you've done a move. It's a little bit dangerous. And they
And
put in a
fast
really
song.
fast song. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, this is a dangerous move for the followers. You really want to put a fast song, but I like this fast song. Can we go a little bit slower? What song? But I don't like this song.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, so when did it come about the
It's again-
teacher
again-
and not about the
again-
student?
again,
the
so putting the
same story,
students
again, the same
first.
story, again, the same
Student
story.
first. What's better
Put your
for the
students
student,
first,
not
yeah.
for my enjoyment?
In that class at that
Yeah.
time, I'm not saying like bend over backward for your student. I'm saying at that time you're doing this move. What's best for the students?
Yes.
Not for you, not your personal choice about songs.
Mm,
Like I could put a song that I don't like, but if it's going to help the class,
Yeah.
then it should be on.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
Okay, so just to summary, just to summarize everything what we were talking about. If you guys would like to become teachers, first of all, don't get upset at current teachers or at people who did it faster than you. Take them as inspiration. They show you the path to go.
Yeah.
So, and obviously that makes their life a bit easier as well. And again, we have to always put things in perspective. Yeah, it's a process. It's a path. You have to start at the beginning and keep progressing to reach some point. This is very important. Yeah, so we are not jumping to the final stage
So you have to
straight
enjoy
away.
the journey. You have to enjoy the journey.
That helps as well.
Yeah,
If you can do that, you can definitely, you will feel better about it.
Yeah.
You'll feel
Have fun
better.
with it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a process.
Yeah.
It's a process. Yeah.
I was even thinking about it yesterday in completely different context. I remember what it was. I started playing with a gimbal last night.
What's a gimbal?
Gimbal.
Oh, gimbal.
Gimbal.
Oh,
Yeah, you
oh,
said
right,
it
right.
in Polish accent.
Gimbal.
My bad. Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. So, sorry.
I
So,
started
any more
playing with
comments to say goodbye?
So I started playing with it, and I realized that I don't know how to use it. and then this journey, this understanding, like all these new elements. Oh, this works. Oh, this works. Oh, and I can rotate it this way. Oh, it works completely different. And
Yeah.
I thought about what you said. Like I enjoy this.
The process, the journey. Yeah.
Even the fact that I don't understand how to do it, and slowly it started coming to me. And the same is with definitely with teaching. Learning how to teach is a process. We can definitely help new teachers. We try to run like test classes. So like you will do class with us instead of with real people, just to feel how it works and what easy mistakes you can eliminate. But the most important is to work on yourself and within yourself.
Backtracking a little bit, is it for everybody? Teaching. Can anybody become a teacher?
I mean, first of all, you need to have a lot of passion. That's quite rare to
No,
be so
see,
passionate
you see,
about bachata
I
or
said
salsa.
that I said that about dancing in general, that everybody can learn how to dance.
Yeah.
We talked about I don't think we talked online, but we talked about this
So can
regular
anybody
classes.
become a teacher? That's
So
another
it's,
video. That's
okay,
another
yeah.
video.
But there is this guy who I said to myself, and I didn't say to him, I said to him that after a time, that I didn't believe that he's going to learn how to dance. I gave up on him. He didn't give up on himself. He decided to become to learn how to dance, even when he had no predisposition, no skill, no talent, no coordination, absolutely nothing. In my eyes, when I saw him for the first time, I was thinking, no freaking way. And he proved me different. So
I
from
proved
this,
you wrong.
That's
Wow.
dancing though, that's dancing.
so from this
Wow.
perspective, I am able to believe that if somebody really wants it, he'll get it. However, I also think that there are people who have natural predisposition for it, and it will become a lot easier for them.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. So I would say everybody can, not everybody will.
That's a good way. Yeah, that's a way to
okay.
say it, yeah.
And if you enjoy this type of videos, if you'd like us to talk more, I mean, doesn't matter if you like it or not, we'll still do. We'll make more videos on similar topics. We'll discuss how to run dance school. We'll show you a bit of backstage, how we record classes, so what equipment we are using, how everything works from other perspective, because normally you see only front of the camera. Even Hector told me today, like, oh, this room looks bigger on camera.
It does. Looks really good on camera. Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
better than it is. It's not as good, as cool as it looks.
See. So we'll show you a bit of backstage as well. We'll show different aspects of running the dance school as well. We'll discuss them. I think they are quite fun people to talk to as well.
That's a compliment. Thank you. Thanks very much, Andy, and thanks very much, Michal.
Before we go, guys, like, subscribe, and press the bell. Like, subscribe, and press the bell. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. You can become a patron of our channel.
Oh wow!
And yeah, all this.
How much money do we need to pay?
You can pay whatever you want. You can pay.
Yeah?
Up to the person.
Yeah.
£1, £100.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. On PayPal, you can send random donations. It's perfectly fine. We like them all. Anyway, links are in the description of this video, and we'll come back with more content like that and more dancing videos as well. So stay tuned, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
See ya.